Welcome to Radcast, the Random Ass Dudes podcast where absolutely nothing's off limits. Hosted by two guys with no script, no agenda, and no clue what's coming next. If it's random, it's fair game. Tune in, laugh with us, argue with us, or just wonder what the hell did I just listen to? New episodes come out weekly, and pure chaos is guaranteed.
There it is.
Heck yeah, man.
Awesome. This one, I'm super pumped. I think I posted yesterday that I'm super excited about this one. So, what is this, episode 10?
Yep, episode 10.
Episode 10.
We've got
we've got Colton Mcmurdie on here.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Pumped. Yeah.
Looking good, man.
Appreciate it, man.
What?
That's all due to Cowboy Hardware.
Cowboy Hardware?
Yeah, big shout out there. They sponsor me.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Do they send you a lot of clothes a lot or what?
Yeah, that's actually one of my Grant Gomez and Ransom Gomez. They some good friends of mine. I've known them. I team rep with them all the time. So once I got into the music deal, actually Ransom was pushing me for a long time to get to do this for longer than I even was thinking about it.
Really?
Yeah, and so once I did, he was all on board with the sponsoring and everything.
Nice.
So yeah, heck yeah.
So you are born and raised Arizona.
Yeah, I'm sixth generation from Arizona.
Sixth generation.
Yep.
Where'd you grow up at?
I grew up, through middle school. I was over off in the North Valley, and then right before high school, we moved out here to Whitman, not too far from you guys down the road. Went to Wickenburg High School, and then finished out in a prep school over in Surprise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
And obviously, you're a roper.
Yeah, I team rope. Still team rope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that was a kicker. Where do you want to start?
This is your show, man.
There's a lot to unfold here.
Yeah.
I just want to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Okay. Your mustache, dude.
Yeah, what's going on?
It looks good, bro.
I appreciate it,
It looks
man.
good. I like it.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You did not think that's where he was going when he said elephant in the room.
Yeah,
I feel like the mustache is where it's at.
it's coming back, man. They're all coming back.
If I could do it, I wish I could do it, but I got a double chin coming, so I don't want to be a part of a Chinese phone book.
My dad says I'm in training. My dad's got the full fireman stash, so he likes to make fun of me.
So your dad's a firefighter?
Yeah, he's on SWAT team. He does fire and for Glendale.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Nice. I know some. So my dad was a firefighter as well, and then my brother's a firefighter too.
Okay, right on.
So they work for, I don't know if I can say this. Yeah, Peoria.
Yeah.
Peoria, and then my dad also worked for Sun City West.
Okay, right on.
So he's retired though.
Yeah, my dad's been on Glendale for 23 years, or 24 years, something like that.
Nice.
And they opened up a SWAT position for medics.
Oh wow!
Like 4 years ago or 5 years ago, he's been doing that for the last 3 or 4 years, and he's all
about it.
Oh man, he went from carrying a gun to carrying three. You know what I mean? He's all tactical now, and but he loves it, man.
Does he like go to like buildings? But hold on, son. Hold on. Let me see what we got.
Let me scope out the situation what's going on here.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So other elephant in the room. I'm in a wheelchair.
There you go.
I'll throw that one out there for everybody that's listening. Yeah, I got paralyzed when I was 17 years old. It was 3 months before the end of my junior year of high school. So I was right here off 211th on, not on Patton, but 211th off of 74.
Okay.
Right in front of the old proving grounds, right there, the Toyota proving grounds. Yeah. And I rolled a Toyota 4Runner. I was doing like 110 miles an hour in a Toyota 4Runner. I had all 95 or 97 5-speed. I blew a back left tire. And so the butt end of my car, I don't know if you but the butt end of my car kind of slid out a little bit. And I know not to pump my brakes or anything or turn or anything, just try and ride it out when you get a flat like that. But I pulled my front end just a little bit, just trying to keep it straight, man. And I remember my side window just smacking the ground. And then I went black, but I can kind of remember just like, it felt like I was in a barrel just gotten like thrown out of a plane. Like I could just remember being thrown around. My buddy Keegan Lindsay was right behind me, and he watched me flat the front windshield on the second roll. My car hit sideways and then went end over end.
Jesus.
Came out the front windshield. And I woke up on the ground like 30 seconds later, and I sat up. I remember trying to move my legs, and they didn't move an inch. So I was like, man, my back's broke for sure. So I just laid back down, just tried to be still. And he was way out in the distance yelling my name because he couldn't find where I'd landed. Oh, my car rolled like 14 times.
So you went like in the desert.
Yeah, he said I hit I was on the hip of the road, but my car went clear to the desert. So and he didn't see, and he pulled off because he didn't want to hit me. He didn't know where I'd landed at, and he just drove in where my car was at, and he couldn't. Yeah, anyhow, I whistled loud one time. I can whistle pretty loud, and I whistled loud one time. He come running over and got there, and he kind of froze up a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you do? And so I was like, call 911, man, and then he called my mom right after that. And she got there before the fire department did. She probably did $120 down the road. And yeah, it was a whole ordeal. And she was there to hold my head, and I was just apologizing for not wearing a seatbelt. She was like, "Let's not worry about that right now."
Well, it sounds like if you were to wear your seatbelt, you would have been where your car is at.
Yeah, for sure. And at the time, my dad was a flight medic, and so he was. I think he'd just gotten off work or whatever, but the native self-launched and self-landed. They did some kind of illegal things, but it was whatever. I think it inevitably ended up saving my life, just the quickness and to everything. But actually before that, I didn't feel hardly any pain. And my leg was wide open, from my ankle all the way back side of my knee when I was on the ground. And that was like, I was like, whoa, And but when the fire department got there, this guy walked up to me and he's like, "Colton," he said, "this is gonna hurt like hell." And I hadn't felt really any pain. I was in shock, still. Yeah. And he pulled out a Craftsman drill with a drill wood tip on it. Hit that right into my shoulder. They did a bone tap on me. And that was the most, just feeling your bone, just going through. Because your bones have more blood. I'm sure you guys kind of know about that medically, but for those that don't know, your bones have way more blood flow than any part of your body. So in war and stuff like that, they'll just hit you with a bone tap and they can hit you with drugs right away, And once he hit me with that and shoved those into me, I was like, that was when I started. And then when I finally went all the way out, sedated, I was in the helicopter. I remember the helicopter taking off, and then. They tried flying me to John C. Lincoln, and my dad got into it with a couple cops and actually ended up getting into the back of the dispatch officer's car. And he said, "You reroute my son to PCH, or you're gonna have a big problem on your hands." And they said, "We're already en route to John C. Lincoln." And he said, I don't care where you're en route to." He said, "I legally can tell you where you fly, and you're flying to PCH." So. And PCH is just their top of the line.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. I was a 6'4" 17-year-old going into PCH. So when I was in there, they had to bring in another bed,
Right.
But, anyhow, they took me there. I was in ICU for a week and a half, in a medically, induced coma, and then I was in the hospital for I think 3.5, 4 months, something like that.
Jesus.
And, for the first while I was in there, so they put, all in all, I tore my aorta in 2 places, so they put 2 aortic stents in.
Oh, damn.
I broke my back, T12, so they fused my spine, 2 above, 2 below, so 5 vertebrae altogether. And then I opened my leg wide open, and it was luckily, it was kind of crazy. I can show you guys a picture. I don't know if it helps the podcast at all, but what else I'd do? I collapsed both my lungs, so I had 5 chest tubes, and then just a whole bunch of stuff. I can't remember what else. But I shattered my scapula.
How far do you know that? Obviously, you got ejected out of the. How far was?
I was probably 60. I was probably 20 yards, 60 feet. I don't know, to be honest with you, because once I was on the ground, I was I was pretty incapacitated. But and then so for the first good while I was in the hospital, I couldn't feel nothing from the waist down, and we were actually rolling through the hallway one time, and my dad,
holy shit,
whoa, dude.
It's pretty gnarly.
I feel like
it looks like you got attacked by a shark.
Dude, I tell people that.
Oh my goodness.
Just depends on what we're doing, but yeah.
That looks like a $50 steak at Costco.
Hey, I just a little salt and pepper, 5 minutes aside on the grill and down the hatch.
Damn.
Did y'all see that?
I don't know if they wanted to.
Buddy.
But yeah, so that Yeah, we were in there. But anyhow, one of those days, I had 9 surgeries on this left leg, and they did, cosmetic surgery or whatever, plastic surgery. You know, I mean, probably for what it looked like to what it looks like now, it looks amazing. It's gnarly scar. Don't get me wrong, but my dad was pushing me down the hallway one time, and he accidentally slammed my feet into the wall, and I was like, "Ow!" And he's like, "What'd you say?" He slammed my legs into the wall again. No, he just kept slamming them over and over again. I was like, "I feel it." Yeah, I was like, "I feel it." Yeah, you could quit. And anyhow, so then from there, just a long road of therapy I feel everything down to my toes. I can't move anything from the knee down, so I have no control of my feet or anything. Like if you see my feet like moving, they just move on their own. Sometimes
really?
Yeah, sometimes they'll just sit there and bounce and whatever. But and like they tried to put like Botox and back to my calves to make that stop, and I'm like, I mean, is the movement hurting anything? They're like, no. I'm like, well, then it's only helping your stuff. Like, it's, it's helping your circulation. It's helping everything. So let's not kill anything more than what I've already lost. Like, that's what the point of that is. Anyhow. So I team roped before that. And, once I got in the car accident, it was my family. My family is a huge support, and I had as far as you want to say, picture perfect childhood. I mean, I had great parents. I just have a great support system. You know what I mean? And that's a blessing. And I know that, and not everybody has that. And it's super. That's something I hold close to me. And those are people that I really look up to, and I try to live like. But without them, I don't think this would have gone the way that it went. You know what I mean? And I think that I'm strong enough to go through this adversity and stuff like that. But I think at the same time, it damn sure takes people. You know what I mean?
You got a village, right?
Yeah, it takes a village, you know what I mean? And so, my parents told me, like, we could take care of you and you could, the way I heard it was you could be a vegetable in our house the rest of your life, and that's our job as parents to take care of you, but there's no reason that you can't do everything you used to do, just a little different, And so it was like that day, I was like, we called Corky Iron over at Dynamite Horse Supply, and I was like, dude, I'm sending you a saddle, like, figure it whatever out. You think you need to put on there for me to be able to rope and ride again, like get it done, like, and that it was waiting for me. My grandpa sent it over there, and that was waiting for us when actually my grandpa sent that over there before I even made that decision. Actually, I forgot about that. My grandpa had sent it over there, and it was already done. Really? So and so like my grandpa was like, he's like, I knew you'd get back to it, whatever.
Roper at the core, right?
Yeah. What's that?
Roper at the core, right? You weren't.
Oh, yeah. And so it was pretty cool. But, and so that was already done, rigged out when I got out of the hospital. And, and it took, it was frustrating. Like, it was, and things like, not to toot my horn or anything, but like, things don't come hard for me. Like, I've always been just like one of those, and I never like pushed things to like as best as I could be, but I just always would be like naturally good at something.
Sure.
And then I just coast on that, you know what I mean? And I never had to try very hard at things. Like, I pissed my brother off, like absolutely drove him off the wall, because he puts like a lot of time and effort in things that he like does and like likes to do. But roping was never one of those things. Like, I've had a rope in my hand since I was 2 years old. Since I can remember, you know what I mean? Roping's been one of those things that my family does and we love to do. So once I tried getting back to it, it was a long learning process of finding what horse worked and finding how to cue my horses differently, because obviously now horsemanship is all feet.
Yeah.
No hands really. You're soft-handed and you're all in your feet. And now I'm teaching my horses to be blind to my feet and listen just to my hands and my mouth, know. So it's just a whole different learning. And I predominantly headed all growing up, and I switched to the heel side just because there's a lot more horsemanship in my opinion than heading. You know what I mean? I don't know how too familiar you guys are with horsemanship and stuff. I'm sure you guys know enough to I don't know what you guys' experience are with horses.
I know the basics.
Yeah. So, but anyhow, it was very much so more. On the heel side, you can just kind of keep an animal wide and then let him in, and it's a lot more flat and just a lot easier as far as horsemanship goes. So that's why I switched to that, and then it probably took a year and a half before I was like back to roping again. Back to doing it.
was it like full confidence year and a half?
I wouldn't say full confidence, but I was confident enough to go compete.
Yeah.
And actually, it might have been longer than that. It's hard to remember. It might have been 2 years, where I was back to like a competition.
Yeah.
That's like that. Actually, I could tell you what year it was.
Oh,
2022, because I won that. I wore this on purpose. I won that. If this was the first buckle I won 2 that day. So it was 2022. So 2017. So it was 4 years. 4 years after. Right? Yeah, 4 years after that I went back to competition.
Yeah.
And I just practiced all that time, So yeah, man, longer than I thought. So 4 years after that I got back on a horse. I didn't get back on a horse until after. I was in the hospital for 4 months.
Right.
Yeah.
And then just getting back to like, moving around and getting around, learning the new normal, and then so I guess 4 years back to once I competed again, and then it's still not full confidence, I would say. Like I'm confident enough to go compete, you know what I mean, like and do stuff like that, and I'm good enough to win, you know what I mean, and it's just, but it's very much so like, would I say full confidence? No, it's never gonna be what I used to be able to do on a horse, you know what I mean, but it's confident enough that I'm pumped to get on my horse and rope, and I can go get in an arena with other people on horses, and
you could compete.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm
cool.
not afraid to do it. Like I'm damn sure I can go look someone in the eye and be like, "Let's go rope." You know what I mean? Let's go match it. You want to go enter? And people look at me and go, "Yeah, I'm confident to enter with you." You know what I mean? They're not like, "Oh, I don't want to waste $180 with this guy." You know what I mean? Like people be like, "Hell yeah, you want to?" And people call me, "Hey, you want to come heel for me in this and be a heel for me in that?" Yeah, I'm down.
That's awesome.
And so in that sense, yeah, it's cool to be confident enough back to that level of where, buddies would call me to go compete, and I'll call buddies to compete.
Were you in the process of training your own horses? Because not a lot of horses probably see wheelchairs and like the way you get up and stuff.
Yeah. So, like those of you who see my TikTok, I'm sure some of you guys have probably seen my TikTok and stuff like that. When I the first time I tried getting back on, like you just said, like it's horses, they're used to guy walking up, stepping their foot in the stirrup and swinging on. So like when I tried doing a muscle up onto one, he took off with me, and I hung on for a few seconds, and then I was like, I better just bail. I'm not gonna get any better, and then we pinned him between the fence, and I got on or whatever. But the horse that I ride now, I was actually living out in Oklahoma. And I moved out to Kansas because I had a buddy that I went to Wickenburg High School with that was a good friend of mine, and he lived out here in Whitman too, actually. But after he graduated high school, he had moved back out to Kansas to Cedarville, and I was working up at NRS. I was shaping hats up here, and he called me, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Shaping hats right now." And he's like, "You want to move out to Kansas?" And I was like, "Why not?" And I had nothing tying me down. Why not see somewhere different? And he said the summers are kind of fun out there. So I had flown out there, and I liked it. All we did was fish and back road and, whatever down the back roads. And,
little sauce.
But you go booze cruise back road and shoot stuff and whatever. It's just how it is kind of in the Midwest. But I flew back out here, got my truck and moved her out there. And I was there I ended up meeting a girl. And
this was after the accident?
This is all after the accident, yeah. I met a girl down in Oklahoma when I was shaping hats down there for Joey Lee. He owns Osage Outfitters down there, and you know who like Ree Drummond is? I'm sure she does, the Pioneer Woman and all that. So her store was right next to our shop, so I know Ree, and I actually got to go like to her daughter's wedding. Like she had $1.5 million in flowers. Like it was ridiculous.
Oh my God.
It was ridiculous. It was crazy. And she's a good lady, whatever, but I don't know if you heard of that movie, Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
I shaped all those hats for that movie.
No way.
Yeah, so I shaped Leonardo's hat. I shaped all those guys' hats.
Dang.
Yeah, so
I'm going to rewatch it.
Yeah, you're going to be like watching for it now. Yeah.
I know who did that.
Who did that?
Right.
That's dope.
Yeah, so that was another cool deal I got to do. But I met a girl down there when I was working down there. And we ended up moving in together down in Pawhuska, or not. I worked in Pawhuska. We were over in like Fairfax area, down by Scheidler kind of. But yeah, we moved in down there, and then she actually we're not together anymore, but she actually ended up moving back here with me to Arizona because her dad lived out in Aguila. Kind of a small world, you know, but her dad had a big place out in Aguila, and she's been wanting to move out to Arizona anyway. So, I mean, she would have moved out here either way, but, you know, that's when that's where I was going with that. When I was living out there with the horse I'm riding right now, she had borrowed this mare from our horseshoer at the time, and for a barrel race because her horse was lame, and I knew they'd healed on her. She's a cool little mare, you know, she's a cool Palomino, and I knew that they had healed on her. So I called Trent Tucker, and I was like, you know, do you care if I go heel on that horse in the Fairfax Open Rodeo, or what was it, the Sky Took? We were at the Sky Took Open Rodeo, and I hadn't swung a rope in 7 months. I swung a rope, sorry, but I hadn't roped in 7 months. Right. I hadn't been on a horse in 7 months. Yeah. I mean, we drove the dummy here and there, but like, I'd just been out there focused on what I, you know, was doing, you know, and I shouldn't even say that. I rode a horse a couple of times, but I hadn't roped.
Yeah. Right.
I was on a horse. I'd go, you know, maybe go on a little trail ride with my girlfriend, but out for the most part, I was like shaping hats, and I'd get home. We'd go hunt maybe or fish or whatever, but I mean, it was just work right then and there, so I wasn't roping at all. And but when I called him and asked him if I could go to the Sky Took Open Road to use that horse, he was like, "Dude, I don't care." He's like, "You can use her for a little bit if you want." So I was like, "Heck yeah!" So I called my buddy Jimmy Rock, and he was college rodeoing down there in Miami at the time. And I said, "Hey, let's go enter in the Sky Took Open Rodeo." And he's like, "You got a horse?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got a horse too." He's like, "You been roping?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm dialed. Like, let's go." Like, I'm dialed in right now.
What a salesman.
Oh, I'm dialed. That's all I do is sell, man. I was like, I'm dialed in right now. You know, I got this little mare, she's rank, you know, and so. And he's like, "Well, all right, you know, let's go." So, I mean, I don't know, we're a couple hundred a man in entry fees into this deal, and we're riding into the arena. We get drawn in the perf in round one. And we're riding in the arena, and I was like, "Hey, I haven't roped on this horse, and I haven't roped in 7 months." He's like, "What the hell," you know? And so, I mean, I didn't know if I was going to have to be over-under and whipping this horse. I didn't know how it was going to work, but I was, you know, whatever, let's do it.
Figure it out.
Yeah, so, and I backed her in the box. I mean, her ears went forward, and she was solid as a rock. I was like, "I think we're going to be all right." We come out, and I two-toed on the second hop. Missed my daily like twice, but I ended up getting it. We won second place.
That's
awesome. This guy took. So I called that guy back, and I was like, "Dude, what do you want for this horse?" Like obviously, so I'm still working with trying to figure out horses that work right for me with my wheelchair, this and that. I mean, this is the first time I've even rode this horse.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's dialed for me, and I'm like, so I was like, I gotta try and buy her, you know, and called the guy back, and he said he had a guy coming after not too long to buy her for like 20, and he's like, "But if it was going to you guys, like I'd give her to you for 10, you know." So, and sold her to me for a good deal. She was 11 years old when I bought her. Nice. You know, I think she's 14 or 15 now, but just I couldn't ask for anything better. Dude, you know, it's only gone uphill from there. You know, right. Now we're more in sync than we've ever been. But anyhow, that's how I got that horse.
So did you have to like retrain her on your cues and everything like that?
To an extent, but not really. I mean, the only thing that I've really made that horse associate with is when I, you know, kissing at her, you know, I mean, I've really kind of associated. I'll you know, smack her on the butt every once in a while when I make that sound, just so she really associates that. Well, we need to get up and go work, you know. And so when I do that, she'll grab a gear. I mean, she gets after it. And so other than that, she's a little shit though. Every once in a while, she'll buck around the pin. Every time I get on her, just one time, nothing crazy, just how she is. She's still standing still. She's never moved a muscle when I've been getting on her back. That's never awesome. One time has she taken a step while I've been getting on her back. Wow. And she's so touchy. I mean, she's as mare gets. She hates being touched. For the longest time, I didn't even shoe her back in because you couldn't even touch her back feet really. She was a horseshoer's horse that never got shod. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So she's just. And she's got, her legs were all cut up. She got her legs caught in barbed wire fence when she was real little and just got them all splayed open and everything. But, I mean, literally this horse is so flinchy to everything. She's just reactive to everything. Yeah. But I roll up there to her and just watch her melt and she just drops her head.
Just the perfect horse for you.
And just lets me get on. And then once I'm on her back, she knows I'm buckled. Then it's back to like prancing in place and just fire, you know. But I can't ask them. I'd rather ask a horse for less.
Sure.
Than for more now. Before my accident, I'd rather be asking for more than for less. I like a calmer horse. But now I need them just to be like giving me 110, and mares seem to give me 110. You know, they don't have.
We
you
know it.
Yeah,
We got to.
They're all fired up.
Oh,
But yeah, so
I like kind of feel like when I picture you and your horse together and you guys bonded, I feel like it's like Avatar.
Like Avatar.
And you guys like
yeah,
That's funny.
Yeah.
What a story, though. Like, thinking about going from, you know, not only does the horse got to learn how to do it, right? But you had to relearn, not the roping piece of it per se, but like how your body works differently.
Yeah,
post-accident.
everything. Balance and horsemanship. I mean, horsemanship, like I said, it's all legs. So it was just everything that I've ever known.
Yeah.
You know, everything I've ever been taught, everything that I've ever dialed, everything I've ever worked on my craft with, it was all just opposite.
So like you mentioned before, like everything came easy to you before the accident, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously you can't use your legs after.
Right.
Like mentally, how hard is that?
Oh, dude, like, I mean, from the rope, like, let alone the roping, like, I mean, the way that I always try to be a good person, you know, and like the way that I would try to like help others was physically, you know. I mean, I was a 6'4", I'm 6'5", you know. And through high school, I was in my junior year, I was 6'5", you know. Like, if I seen somebody needing the help with something, you know, that was my way of. I would always try and, like, you know, hold a door, open a door, or, you know, whatever, you know what I mean. Like, just physical ways was the way that I always knew I could help somebody. Right. So going from that to like, yo, could you give me a hand? Like, that was the hardest thing for me. Like, just, you know, it was like having to ask somebody for help.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
When
like,
you were probably doing it all on your own.
Oh man, it was so hard just to have to like accept help. Like it just killed me for a while. But now, you know, now it's like I had a really good group of buddies, and I still do, and I don't even really notice anymore. It's just kind of the way everything goes, you know, and it's been going like that for so long that it doesn't even like. It's just the way it is.
Like, so my interaction with you is when I called you, right? And I was like, because we talked about this, like, well, can you get in the camper or whatever?
Yeah.
And I was like, hey man, we do our podcast in the camper. You know, I mean, we could do it outside. And your response was, man, I'm paralyzed. I ain't dead.
Yeah,
you know?
So I'm just like, crippled. I ain't dead, man. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And that's been my mentality with everything is just, we're gonna go do it no matter what, but how we'll figure out how we do it when we get there, you know.
Well, and it was funny the night we met, right? When we were launching the podcast, you're the first person that we even talked to about this,
right?
And the night that we all met out at Dylan's, you were out there singing, right? And I was like, oh, he's really, really good. Yeah. And the next thing you know, I turn around and he's roping goats.
Yeah,
right? Like,
I won third.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then Shane's like, no, dude, he's like a pro roper. And I was like, what are you talking about? The dude's in a wheelchair. Yeah. He's like, no, you got to check this shit out. And I started watching. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was awesome.
That's how I first saw you, was on TikTok.
Right.
Your video just popped up.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And I was like, holy shit. And then there you are at Dylan's. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You know? That's funny. Yeah. I mean, we're we're neighbors. We were neighbors pretty much. Right down the road, but
I had no clue.
Yeah, I know your neighbor Tucker. I used to hang out with Tuck all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to hang out with him here and there.
Nice.
Yeah, man, that was funny. I won third place at that goat roping that night, and then just the other night we were at Hanson's. I played out there for a truck meet, and they were there too. They did another goat roping, and I won first the other night with my little cousin there.
Yeah.
So both ropings I've gone to of theirs, I've won something there. So.
That's awesome.
Well, how do you do the goat roping? Obviously, you're in your wheelchair, right?
Yeah.
You just give it one spin, and then you.
No, if I'm heading, I don't even move. I just crack them right on the head side. But if I'm healing, I'll have my little cousin. He'll just push me like as fast as he can.
Oh, okay.
Around the corner. That night we come around and I roped one. I doubled up on one on the hillside, and he dropped me out of my wheelchair, but I still caught him.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Funny. Heck yeah.
Can you do it all by yourself? Like, say if you want to go roping, can you get your horse in the trailer by yourself, get in your car by yourself and all that?
Yeah. So, and that was like, I mean, that was even like a learning curve too, is like if I wanted to go do something by myself, like it's a whole process, you know what I mean? Yeah. So from hooking up a trailer to getting my chair in, you don't think about like, okay, I got to get my truck, got to get my chair in there somewhere. back it up. Now I got to go check and make sure I'm over my hitch, right?
Yeah.
And then if I'm not, okay, I got to go back to my truck, load my chair back in again. Okay, and then I go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, then we can drop it on. And then my horse, like for a little while, that mare, that was her only issue was she'd like to flip around in a trailer and come right back out at you. You know what I mean? A few times she'd jump clear over my head in my wood chair. Like I was like, I can't have that shit no more. You know?
Yeah.
So I mean, now I could throw her from the 3-point line to the trailer. And
dude, that's awesome.
She'll send it, you know.
She knows what to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think it helps too. I mean, at the time I was ripping a 2-horse straight load, so I mean that'll make a horse flip around sometimes too. And now we're in a 4-horse, you know, slant with dividers, like.
Well, and then like normally, I'm sure you don't go by yourself, right? Because you're like with your team and all that.
Yeah,
hanging out with your buddies.
When I was in Oklahoma, I went a lot by myself for sure. When I was over, and then when I came back here at first, I was going quite a bit by myself. But I mean, that's everything. Like having a horse that I can trust to get on by myself, like not having to worry about that. Because she would always like just chill when I get on.
You saddle her up by yourself too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saddle by myself, and but if I would pull up to a rope or whatever, and like I was by myself, I'd get on, and then I'd have somebody I'd go find somebody random to tie my feet into my stirrups. That's the only thing that I only.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I could probably do it if I really tried, but like the rodeo community is like,
everybody's there to help.
Why not? Like just can you put some bands on my feet real quick? Like and if you don't, then like. You're a douche. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. You got bigger problems.
You got bigger problems. You should go to church, dog.
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah.
Awesome. Well, you've been doing a bunch of traveling lately, haven't you?
Yeah.
Slowing down now?
Yeah, a little bit. We so I went to Nashville.
Okay. So what were you doing in Nashville?
Yeah. So I just cut my first record in Nashville.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It's called Gold Buckles. Actually, it's going to be out this weekend.
August 29th.
Yeah, August 29th. It drops on everything.
So gotta download it,
pre-save it, download it. Yeah.
We'll link it
for sure. For sure, link that. Yeah, and then so we went out there, and Styles Hari, he was down here. None of this was on my radar, 6 months ago. But I met a guy named Styles, or I don't know what I went in March, so. Whatever that was before that, this wasn't even something I was like wanting to. I mean, not that I didn't want to, but not anything I knew how to pursue or anything like that. Styles Hari and Sadie Bass, though they had some dental work done by my neighbor, Dr. Harmon, and they were down here. And they did like a little private concert deal over at his house, and I went over there and I just played. They wanted me to ask me if I'd played 2 songs in that. With them at that deal, and I played Gold Buckles, and I played another one. I've been playing Gold Buckles since me and Coy Kraut. I don't know if you know who Coy Kraut is. He's a bullfighter, but he grew up off Lone Mountain over there.
Okay.
And Whitman, and we wrote. I mean, he ended up writing the second verse, but I wrote that first chorus and the verse and the chorus and all that, and then Coy went home and he wrote kind of a bullfighting. That's where that bullfighting comes from in that song. The second half of that, is from Coy. And so I've been singing that since a year after I was in high school. I mean, that's when I wrote that. So all my buddies been hearing that song for a long time, and I didn't think nothing of it. But I played that song at this little concert deal, and Styles told me, he's like, dude, if I told you to come cut that in Nashville, would you do it? I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, don't pussy out, Sorry for that, but that's what that,
Yeah.
And he's like, he's like, I'm just gonna tell you. And this guy wrote "Country On" for Luke Bryan. He was written, and that was "Country On" and all. Yeah. He wrote that. I think he wrote 6 or 7 other number ones, And coming from him, your mom, your grandma tell you you're good at singing. You're like, thanks, grandma. But like, you know what I mean? I'm not taking that to the bank. But this guy's like, he said, like, listen to me, like, you're stupid if you don't pursue this. I'm telling you that right now. And so I was like, and then he's like, I'll make it happen for you if you want to do it, and meeting this guy and like being around him, he's a good old boy. Like, he's like, and the first thing that he told me was like, he's like, if you want to do this, he's like, call me first. And the only reason I say that is because I don't want you to get screwed over.
Right.
Oh,
there's a lot of that.
And he says, and he's like, that I could be just another guy trying to screw you over. I see how that sounds, but he's like, He's like, I got no reason. He's like, I'm doing fine. He's like, I have no reason to screw you over. He's like, I just want to show you how to just set yourself up so that so nobody's hands in the pot besides yours. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like hearing that right off the bat from him was like, all right, you know what I mean? And then, man, we flew out to Nashville, and I mean, this guy just called in every favor in the book. This would have been a $20,000 deal for me to go do. And I mean, I think I paid $3,500, $3,000 out of pocket. You know what I mean? Wow. And $20,000 is kind of cheap. Like
that's like crazy to know. I didn't know that. Like people go down there to make music and they have to pay.
Yeah, you're paying for studio time. You're paying for a producer.
For mastering, all of it. Like, and I mean, if obviously if a label sees you and a label picks you up and they want to like invest in you, then sure, you're not paying anything. You know what I mean? And that's where a lot of those guys end up. You know, they end up looking out and doing those kinds of things. But like for a guy like me, where Styles is like, I don't want to get any of, you know, he's like, I don't want any of those people involved right now. He's like, I want you to just do you. You know what I mean? And that's where like Zach Bryan, I mean, he just sold, or he didn't even sell. He didn't sign with anybody until like 4 or 5 months ago. He just leased the rights to his music for 10 years, right? For $355 million.
Wow.
Damn.
For 10 years, he leased it. And then at the end of those 10 years, he can release or do whatever. But that's because he didn't sign with anybody. He just did it all on his own.
Yeah.
He put out, she probably knows, 25, 30 albums, you know?
Yeah.
And then, it was just like.
Well, also like Oliver Anthony, right? Like he kind of owns his own.
Right.
All of his own music.
Yeah, and I think it was Rogan that talked him into doing that. Rogan was like, dude, don't, these people, he's like, they're trying to tell me that I'm going to lose this, lose that. He's like, there's just a lot of crooked people in this world, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I like to believe there's more good than there is evil, you know?
100%.
And I think there is. I really do. But unfortunately, there is people that put a bad rap on that industry and a bad rap on those people because it's just like.
Well, it seems like it's starting to come alight. Right? Like,
no, for sure.
I think like with the whole Kanye thing, like he was coming out and saying stuff, and that kind of got people looking, and then it's like
Diddy's craziness,
all that Diddy crap going on. Yeah, that's a whole other.
That's not even music. But that's just baby lotion.
Yeah. But I think there is definitely an awareness to that aspect of the industry. So like. People are opening their eyes to that, but thankfully I fell in with the right people at the beginning, you know. And Styles Hari, like, check his music out sometime too. Like, the dude's freaking awesome, and I could probably even hook that up for you guys. He'd probably come on here and talk to you too. But like, just a good old boy, like, and he you know, we've become really good friends, you know, since this deal. And he was telling me, he's like, I mean, this guy was filing for bankruptcy before he got into music because he was hunting so much. Because of his hunting addiction.
Damn.
And he literally told me, he's like, dude, if I didn't have to do music and I could just hunt, he's like, that's all I would do.
Dang.
And so he's like, I just fell into like doing this music deal and like, and started paying for my hunting addiction. And so like I was, you know, he's like, it seemed to be the right move, you know? Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, this guy just. If you've ever met somebody that like seems like they're on like Adderall or meth that like isn't, like he's like, no, like the most clean cut guy you've ever seen, right? Yeah. But he's 100 miles an hour.
He's
like he does not stop. Yeah, he just doesn't quit. Like he
has to be if he's a hunter.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Like how does he sit and be quiet and not do
He doesn't. That's what I'm saying. He does not.
Oh,
when he's hunting, you're saying? Yeah. I don't know. You know, that might be different. You might be able to like call him like
that's probably why he does it.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah. To help him out with it.
Because he's got to be exhausted. If he's going 1,000,000 miles an hour all the time.
Yeah, he just.
But his hunting is where he gets to settle his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might.
That's actually that's a good point.
He just did. So when I flew out there, he just did his Grand Ole Opry debut. I flew out there. We got off the plane. Styles did his Grand Ole Opry debut. We went to that. That was awesome. He's got a song called "Sitting in a Deer Stand." That's the song that he sang. He sang 2 songs. "Sitting in a Deer Stand," like God's Grocery Store, I think. That's what his album's called. Is God's Grocery Store. And it's like a shopping cart with a deer upside down. And you know what I mean? So it's like he's all about.
That is awesome.
And he's cool. Like hunting, but it's not like, I don't know. Like some of the more pop country stuff is like all hunting. You know, it's like beer trucks, this and that, blah blah blah. Like Styles is like, I don't know. He really sings about like stories about how like hunting is his life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like his, you know, grandpas and dads and this and that. Like his music is really like is different than that. It's not really pop country, I wouldn't say. But it's good. Check him out. But anyhow, yeah, so I mean he just called in every favor in the book. I mean, I just listened to him after like, you know, hey, you know, you owe me one, you know, this guy's coming and doing this, you know. So I mean, we were working with Grady Saxman. That's the guy that he produced Dick Down in Dallas. He produced Luke Combs' gold platinum records. He did Jelly Roll. You know, I'm just sitting, you know, and that was a whole other deal in and of itself. Watching how those guys work. I mean, they call in. I had it was Faith Hill's drummer. I think it was Keith Urban's guitarist or somebody. I can't remember. That's George Strait's slide player that was playing on Gold Buckles.
No shit.
Yeah, wow. It's or at least somebody that's done a lot of George Strait's records. You know, just you know, I mean, these guys are just they're called the Nashville Riders, man. They're like there's guys that are. He calls out five of them anyhow. We're sitting in this. We drive out to this like house in the middle of nowhere, like in Nashville, in the back in the woods. And that this house was the whole house was converted to a studio. So like cool. The drummer's up in one bedroom, the guitarist is upstairs in another bedroom. You know, everybody's in their own room. And then I've got a 40-inch TV in front of me, and I can talk to all of them, this and that. You know, change this, change that. I wasn't saying change this or change that at all. I mean, I'm out of my element when I did that day. You know what I mean? I was literally like,
was that your like first interaction being in a studio?
Ever. I've never been in a studio, never even seen the inside of a studio until this day. So I mean, It was like literally going full throttle day one. Like
how is that? I mean, is it like all day? Is it
so dude, 2 hours. Really? 2 hours start to finish we had that song done.
Wow.
And these guys had never even heard the song before they got there.
Really?
And so yeah, and I didn't even play any music. I didn't play any music. We did at two different studios. The first session we were at, the recording of the instrumental side of things. I'm just sitting there. I would sing through the song a little bit with them, so they had an idea of where I wanted things, you know. But I mean, these guys kicked out, you know, like the bass line in 5 minutes, and then they would just screw with each other like, hey, drumming upstairs, that sounds like shit. Like, dude, change this, you know what I mean? And then like they would just pick at each other, you know what I mean? So it was kind of cool to watch them work too, you know, and like figure it out. I don't know if we can swear on here.
Oh yeah, sorry. You can.
Yeah. Okay, anyhow, but like, you know, they just pick at each other, and then until they had like something, I'm like, just keep letting them do what they're doing, you know. It's starting to sound good, you know. And then we went back and we added instruments. We added, you know, the slide or the steel guitar, you know, slide guitar, and a couple other things. I had them take a couple things out. And
so, how much control of your song did you have?
I mean, I probably had them send. We probably went I heard that song 17 different ways with 17 different instruments and this and that before we started fine tuning it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that was just because, you know, I need this change, I need that change, and I'm like, it's hard too, like when this guy just called all these favors for me, and I'm like, I don't want to be, you know, but it's my music.
But it's your shot.
Exactly.
Right?
It's like, it's my music, and I can't fathom like it not coming out the way that I would want it to come out, you know, but like, you know, so that was interesting navigating, but like I just come to find out like Styles is not like, you know, he doesn't give a damn. Like just
he just wants you to be
just tell me what
that's awesome.
I mean, this guy really stuck his neck out and helped me out. So and he's just been awesome for me. So but yeah, so and then we went to the second half of things. I did the vocals, and that was another whole other deal. You know, I've got my dad went up there, my grandpa went up there, my cousin Braden went up there with me. And then we've got Dr. Harmon, which is the dentist that kind of introduced us. He came out to see Styles' Grand Old Opry debut, so they were there. I mean, there's a room full of like 9 people on the other side of this window, and I'm on the other side of the glass, you know, like looking at all these 9 people chilling. I can hear I mean, if they whispered in that room, I could hear it.
No shit.
I mean, if they're literally just like we're talking right now.
Yeah.
And they're like 20 feet away from the glass, and I could hear them talking like that.
Dang.
So if they say any whisper about what's going on or how I'm singing or this or that, like I'm just like this is all new, man. You know, this is intense.
It's kind of like fishbowl.
You feel like that, right, when you're in here.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
A lot of money here, dude. A lot of money.
Dude, this thing's sick, man. But anyhow, so we you know, you sing every line. You just sing line by line, 12, 20 times.
So you don't really sing the whole song.
No,
they piece it together.
Yeah, you sing it line by line, and then you're like, okay, I like the inflection there, I like the vibrato there, or, you know, throw a little more, you know, of this or of that, you know, whatever. But yeah, so that was another cool thing that I got to do, and hopefully I get to. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna be doing it again. I'm going back in a couple weeks.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, I'm cutting 4 more this time when I go back out, or 5 more when I go back out this time. Yeah.
So, awesome. How old were you when you actually started
singing and stuff?
Yeah.
So I've sang my whole life. Like when I was really, really, really little, you know, like my mom put me in like the plays and stuff with my little sisters, you know. But I wrestled all growing up too. You know what I mean? Like you know, I did that too, and I just but like I don't know. I always enjoyed singing. I never did it though. Like, I never did it though. Like on a level like that in any way. I'd sing to the radio, you know, and I never played guitar until after my car accident. But my dad gave me a guitar after I got in my car accident, and I started playing. Excuse me, sorry. I started playing guitar after my car wreck, and me and Coy Kraut sat in his bedroom out here in Whitman for a whole summer one time, and I mean, we taught ourselves in the summer off YouTube.
Nice.
That's so cool. Then we just kind of ran with it. And then, you know, my buddies and me would always talk about, and all my buddies always tell me I sang really good, you know what I mean? And but even them saying it, you know, it's like, I appreciate it, you know, and we would always joke, like, we're going to do this someday. We're going to figure out how to, you know, get into this or write, you know. And it was always, you know, we never did a damn thing about it. Not a thing, you know what I mean? It was always like, we're going to make it happen, you know?
Yeah. Well, where do you go, though, right? Like, you don't...
How do I start?
None of us do, you know? We're all rodeo kids from Whitman, Arizona. Like, you know, and it's all who you know in this world. Sure. You know what I mean? Unfortunately. But fortunately, you know, if you put yourself in good positions to meet good people, then good things can happen, you know? So,
like, imagine if you were at that party and you said, no, I don't want to.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Exactly, yeah. It's like, well, I mean, why close doors for yourself? Right. But it's like, I just lost my train of thought. What were we just talking about?
No, but what you were saying about closing doors for yourself, right? Like, it's like, I think that is such a missed component that people don't understand.
Right.
You know, you talked about how there's people out there to get you, but the reality is you want to think that most people are good.
Right, yeah.
And are there to open up doors.
And you do.
Like, yeah.
I think that's something that's good to have, you know what I mean? Who wants to go out every day thinking everybody's out to get them or out to hurt them? Like, what kind of way of life to live is that? You
exactly.
know?
There is no life to live like that.
No, and then you're completely closed off to meeting people or being open to that. You know what I mean? But you know, so I learned how to play guitar, and then it was just like us making those jokes, like, you know, we're gonna figure out how to do this, you know, whatever, blah blah blah. But I never did it. You know, I went to auctioneering school after I got out of high school, and I became an auctioneer.
There's a school for that?
Yeah, I flew to Clear Lake, Iowa, and I became an auctioneer. So
give us some right now.
I want to get them 5,000. Now down 6 pair. I don't get to get 7 now. Down to get 7 to get them 7. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, man. So I did that for a long time.
Hold on.
Yeah, coming on 153. Yeah.
What's like is there like a book?
No, man. There's really not. There's no book for that.
How do you even start to teach somebody?
So this is how I got into it. I showed livestock all growing up, right? So I showed pigs, FFA, whole deal.
Okay.
Always around auctions. Been to cattle auctions my whole life. You know what I mean? And I got in my car accident, and my uncle Travis Zimmerman, he was like, you know, I just taught myself off YouTube in high school before my accident, right?
Yeah.
But I was pretty decent at it. You know what I mean? I just thought it was a joke, a little party trick, whatever, you know?
Yeah, try to get the girls.
Yeah, I don't know if that gets girls, but it does something, I guess.
Like, you want to see how I work my tongue?
have said it before, but
it works.
I don't know how far we're going to this podcast.
Bam, I'm gonna go to auction school.
He's gonna go to auction school for alternative reasons.
Right.
Shit. But anyhow,
this is gonna be her favorite podcast. By the way,
right?
Oh my goodness. That's
but anyhow, I got in my car accident. My uncle Travis was like, dude, he's like, why don't you go to auctioneering school? He's like, I know you think it's a joke, but like, that's a joke. Like, it's a joke to you right now, but like, why don't you got to figure out something to sit down and make money.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever, man. So, I flew out to Clear Lake, Iowa, and I stayed at schooling. It's like a 2-week school, but I always give my sister shit. Like, she's a college graduate, and I'm like, I'm a college graduate too. My diploma says Worldwide College of Auctioneering. Yeah, so I don't give a damn what you say. I was
worldwide.
Like, worldwide. Prestige.
Yeah.
But anyhow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so then I went to selling, man. I got back, went to selling. I worked for WSM for a while. Sold for EJ's auctions. I worked for Fidelity Estate Services. I did estate liquidations and stuff like that. And I loved it, And then where I really got into my groove was with like the charity benefit auctions. Okay. So I did a lot. I mean, I did the Wickenburg Hospital. I do the Kids Foundation. I do one of the breast cancer societies. I've done nice. Just a bunch of big, auctions like that. And I mean, it sounds bad, I guess, but like that's where the money is. We want to get into that. That's the cream of the crop of auctioneering. Yeah. I mean, those charity auctioneers, you're making 20% everything you sell. Oh wow! You show up in a night with a date, you get a 5-course meal, and you're clearing 20,000-30,000.
What's the strategy to be an auctioneer? Right, like if you're getting paid by how much you sell. Like what is your strategy? Like how do you get people to start buying and all that?
I mean, I think that in and of itself, like the I want to get a vibe. That in and of itself is rhythmic to people. Yeah. People come to listen to that.
It's like a casino, I would say,
you know what I mean? Right? Yeah, absolutely. But people, especially like cattle auctions, like guys will literally tell me like, I hate to go to a cattle auction and listen to a damn 80-year-old man that can't sell worth the shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like listening to Colton, like it's a good, yeah. So I think. But knowing how to drive sales, right? Especially, and it depends on what kind of auction you're at. Like at my charity auctions, there's an hour-long cocktail hour, so these guys are buzzed up. I got millionaires in this room that are just here to spend money to get a tax write-off.
Yeah.
And they've got $100,000 to spend before the end of the year. Or $1 million to spend before the end of the year. You know what I mean? And for me, it's like, let's find out who has the biggest pick in the room.
Right.
Yeah.
Literally, like, I'm gonna drive my... I mean, if somebody starts saying no, I'm like... Oh, I give them hell. I gotta give them hell. It's just money, dude. Like, I'll lend you $20. What is it that big of a deal to you? Like, come on, what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Whatever,
So I just started, right?
Yeah, I've sold a pie, a pumpkin pie for $15,000 before. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just shit. Wow. But those are that kind of auction. It doesn't matter what you're buying. They're there to spend money. They're there to do it for a good cause.
It's an experience, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And they get a tax break. You know what I mean? So it's like, why not look good? Why not give money to this foundation?
Right.
So then I have fun with it. Cattle auctions, and I've only done one cattle auction as a Yavapai calf sale, but with that one, it's even that one's a little different. I don't want to have no rancher's yearly income in my hands.
Yeah.
No, I don't care to have that. You know what I mean? It's a serious auction. I mean, you're literally determining a guy's worth for a year.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
it's a lot of pressure.
Exactly. And I don't care to tell you what you're making this year. You know what I mean? That's not going to be my job, Yeah. And so, and it's just like one of those things. I don't care to do that, I don't have that. I care to do the other. I like to do the other ones more. I got fun with it and tease people. We're there for a good cause.
I never even thought about just like what you brought up is you are in control of somebody else's money.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like
you're influencing them to buy more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're literally determining what they're making that year.
Yeah.
So like a good auctioneer can make, he can tell you're making 100,000 versus 150,000.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So it's like and that's why you have so many damn fist fights at sale barns. You know what I mean? They're like, you shitting me? Like that. That's where you're going to say sold at, not drive those prices. That's your job as an auctioneer, is to drive those prices. So you're asking earlier, how do you drive those prices? with cattle auctions, it really is turning things up, making people bid quicker, get in the flow of the day. So like, instead of trying to drag things out, maybe run one of your own lots through there and sell it quick so people know I better bid.
There's some buyers here.
I better bid or I'm not going to get to bid. I don't get to sit here and wait, twiddle my thumbs and wait for 30 seconds before I make a bid. I got to bid,
Yeah.
So you keep people, you know what I mean? And it's, there's other ways, but like, again, I haven't gotten into that much on that aspect of things, but it's just, yeah.
Got to get you into Barrett Jackson.
Yeah, I've bid spotted for them.
Yeah,
yeah, for Barrett. So one of my teachers from auctioning college,
worldwide.
Worldwide. one of my teachers, he works for Barrett, and so he invited me out there, and I got the bid spot for him. So that was pretty cool. But yeah,
I got my horse from an auction, and hearing from the other side of it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, you motherfucker.
I know. I'm like, damn, man. You motherfuckers got me, dude.
Yeah.
It really does, man. Like, when you're there and you're, like, bidding,
you're
like,
yeah, dude.
Who is it? Oh, I ain't going to lose.
Dude,
right? Because it comes like a competition. It's like, oh,
right.
no.
Well, and you just what you did right there, you just said who's bidding right now.
Yeah.
There's guys, so get this, right? There's guys that, like, even at the equipment sales, I'll have regulars come back, and they want me to watch for a wink. If I wink at you, you bid. If I swap my head, if I sneeze, you bid, because they don't want people knowing they're bidding. I mean, there's old guys at these auctions. They'll just, literally.
Yeah,
really?
And that's how they. Yeah, oh hell yeah, dude. I don't want you to know who you're bidding against. Screw you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that's how it is. These auctions, like, they don't want that. Let's see who's got a bigger one, going on.
Yeah.
They want to buy. They want to keep the price right, and they want to, you know what I mean. So imagine being up on a podium watching for 13 different individual signals. You know what I mean? You got guys that are doing baseball calls out here to me, and I gotta, So that's where it really
and you can't miss, right? Like you don't
but
miss.
people be pissed. Yeah. You can, but.
Do you have other people that help you?
Bid spotters, so that's where they come in handy. You know what I mean? It's hard to miss. When you got three guys with they each have their own section, and it's hard to miss something. And usually I get it, but if I do miss something and I hear real loud, it's hard to miss. You know what I mean? But it just depends. I have said sold before, and some people are still livid. But I say sold. That's a legally binding contract.
Oh really?
You just bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just bought it. Yeah. The word sold comes out of my mouth, it's done deal. You own it. Yeah. Because now I can't go back now because that dude's going to be freaking.
Oh, yeah.
Even more pissed off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyhow, yeah, it's that's why I like to do those charity ones. I can screw with everybody. If I miss a bid for somebody's $20,000, they're not that mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're going to go get anher drink and bid on something else.
Exactly. And so it's. Yeah, I just like the vibe of it, and anyhow, that's where I've kind of.
Who's your music influences? Who you like listening to?
Okay, so all the greats. I like George Strait, Hank Williams Jr. a lot. George Strait, newer stuff, Coulter Wall. But back to older stuff. I like Buck Owens. I like Charlie Pride. Little DOC, David Allan Coe. I don't need a lot of I like a lot of old country.
Yeah,
I like a lot of old country. Yeah,
I like listening to your song. I could kind of hear that.
Yeah,
I could kind of like hear that older.
Right.
Yeah,
and I would even say that it's a little poppier than I like. That what we finalized on with that Gold Buckle song. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's still a little bit poppier than what I will probably do for my next one. The next one I'm going back. The first one I'm doing is just Arizona Waves one that I wrote. It's kind of like a play on Oceanfront Property by George Strait, but it's a really good song. I like it. And but again, that'll probably be a way more George 90s and actually I already have the backtrack for it. We already did the instrumental for it. But yeah.
So you're more like a Zach Top, Cody Johnson type.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I would
like
say
that.
so. Yeah, for sure. There's one of these songs that I'm going back to do that. It sounds like a Kojo song for sure. Just the vibe of it. Yeah, for sure. It's called I Prayed It, but yeah, it's
See, I didn't grow up listening to country.
Okay, yeah.
When I got with my wife, she's the one that introduced me,
right?
And what draws me to country is like having kids, right? And then also too is like the lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's the lifestyle. It's like how, like I'm a Christian, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like them hearing Cody Johnson, like one of the top country artists, have a song about Jesus. It's like, dude, that hits.
It sheds light in a different way.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, how many people nowadays in the media industry talk about God?
Yeah.
I mean, it's frowned upon.
Right. Exactly.
And that don't happen in this country. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
we were talking about that this morning.
Yeah, it's cool. Like you watch Chris Pratt at all? Like,
yeah,
he came out at the Emmys, like, or at the Oscars or whatever the hell it was. I mean, he gave a 3-minute speech on God. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, that's cool to see stuff like that, because you don't see people. I think it's becoming. It's coming back into fold.
Yes.
I think definitely like being allowed to be vocal about your faith. Yeah, I think that it's coming, definitely making it round back way for like to be a good thing. You know what I mean? Because I think damn sure for a long time it was like,
no, it was like forbidden.
Yeah, like
right?
don't mention Jesus. You know what I mean? Like,
don't talk about
who
politics.
the hell are you?
Don't
like,
talk about religion.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And what is that? You know what I mean? Like, so for those guys like that to really like start to integrate that back into the country music industry is like is awesome. I think it's cool to see.
I also
important
enjoy
too.
it. Oh,
it's very important.
It's important.
Very.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I also you're right. Just don't do it again.
Just don't ever let it happen again. Don't ever let it happen again.
No,
I say that all the
time. But like to be able to like listen to it with my kids, right?
Yeah.
It's like when I was younger,
and not worry about it.
Yeah, like they're like, dude, when I was younger, I was listening to like Lil Wayne, like all that stuff, and it's just like, sometimes we'll throw it on, and I'm like,
I forgot about that. Yeah, it's like listening to that, or watching movies with your parents. You're like listening to your parent, or listening to your music.
Yeah,
I've seen memes all the time that are like that. They're like, if you're worried about your music, just try listening to it next to your parents and see how,
exactly.
You know what I mean? You're
right.
And there is music that you're like, oh, I didn't,
So I do like where your style is, and like where you want to go, because again, that whole new country, like I think they were giving Luke Bryan some shit about bro country, Yeah,
I don't know.
And I like that stuff, right? Because I like the beats. I like the, how like uppity it is. But I also enjoy, like, when you sit there and say there's a little bit too much pop, I feel like there isn't, man.
Yeah, okay.
I feel good.
I like
love
feedback.
That.
Yeah,
I love that stuff, dude.
Cool.
Like, I don't want country to go back to old country, and I'm sorry for all the big country people out there, but that's just not my style, right?
Oh, right. Back to old country.
Yeah. So it's like having like the Zach Tops and
I think there's
Cody
a
Johnson,
good bridge
exactly
between it though. And I wouldn't see everybody says like Zach Tops is 90s, and I think there's a bridge between that. I think that there's like he integrates kind of what we got going on now and Alan Jackson 90s like country, I think it's awesome. I love it. Obviously other people do too, he's one of the biggest stars there is right now.
But your sound is great. I mean, we go to Dylan's every Thursday, and we're at every rodeo.
Right.
And every time there's a musician out, we're always like, oh, shit.
Yeah, here we go.
Right, here we go. And then you came out, and I was like, I think I was talking to my wife, and you started singing, and I was like, what the hell? Like, when did we get some actual talent out here? And we were all like, holy shit. We're actually like,
well, thank you.
This is really, really good. And then when we all got to talking about you going to Nashville, I was like, I can see why.
Yeah.
Right.
And what's cool, too, is like, dude, you are born and raised in Arizona.
Yeah.
What, like, I feel like, Arizona is like the forgotten Western
for
lifestyle.
sure.
Yeah.
And that's one cool thing that Styles has me doing right now is, and my family even asked, because I've got my grandpa managing this whole deal.
Okay.
Oh, very cool.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
So my grandpa's like it's kind of cool to be able to work with him, and like, and I mean, he's the best. Like, he's just level-headed dude that, like, you know what I mean? And he just kind of sees through people's bull crap. So it's kind of nice to be able to have him as a wall of like, I mean, I'd be down for whatever that people are offering, but you got to run it past my grandpa, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I don't even say that, just past my advisor, whatever, But, I just lost my train of thought again. I'm sorry.
Well, nobody's going to look out for you the way your grandfather will.
Yeah. Oh, but that's what I was saying with Styles was he was saying like, or my grandpa was asking like, no, does he need to be in Nashville? And Styles was like, here's the image I have for Colton. He's like, I want him to stay in Arizona, continue to be an Arizona cowboy, and do his thing in Arizona, and then we'll fly him out, we'll cut his music, and then go back to Arizona and keep doing your thing. And I'm like,
That's the guy.
That's
good,
the,
dude.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm an Arizona boy. Like,
Yeah.
I could summer somewhere else, you know what I mean? But
Can't we
but
all?
who wouldn't, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like, in the wintertime, there's no place. I mean, Arizona's my home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've lived in Kansas. I've lived in Utah. I've lived in Oklahoma. And it's like, every time that first snow falls, usually they see my taillights. You know what I mean? I'm like, I just don't do it, you know?
I tell people all the time, we have 60 days of hell, right?
Yeah.
For 10 months of like the perfect weather.
Right. And that's when I was living in Oklahoma, Kansas, like, you know, why the hell why are you moving back to Arizona? You know, it's so hot there. I'm like, dude, if you're not gone outside, it's 95 with 110% humidity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you guys freeze your dicks off all winter long.
Right.
Yeah.
I get 65 and sunny, and then we go to the lake for a few months.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you seen these mosquitoes out
Yeah,
here?
man,
right.
these bugs out here are
Freaking
something
pterodactyls.
else. Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
you don't even dry off when you get out of the shower. You just put your clothes on.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah,
be wet
man.
by the time you get to the barn anyway.
And like dry heat, I can go all day in dry heat if I'm drinking fluids
water.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But like if you're in that humidity, you get 4 hours of like good work, and then you got to go inside and like cool off, rehydrate. I mean, like you just sweat it out, and it's just miserable. But so yeah, got out of high school, went to auctioneering school, and
Dude, you got a story.
I know.
it's been an interesting ride. That's for damn sure.
And how old are you?
I'm 25 right now. I'll be 26 in September, so in just 2 months.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'll
Dang, so you still got a lot of life to live, man.
got a lot of life to live. Yep. Hopefully,
That's
know.
A lot of time to tell your story.
I hope so. Yeah.
What are, like, when you do write songs, how is that process? I just feel like I've never written a song.
Oh yeah.
I'll be like,
Nor does he remember any,
Right.
I
by
know.
the way.
Yeah, that's very true. So when you're sitting there like popping off all these songs and I'm saying, yeah, I
He
don't
doesn't
know.
know.
Okay. Right.
Even if you heard it this morning, he still
Hey,
doesn't.
fake it till you make it, brother.
Yeah. Hey, but I could jam out though.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hell
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I could like move my hips. A little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but like I just feel like it would just be like an easy process. But you hear all these country artists like having songs written for them.
Yeah.
and,
So
so how is it for you to write a song?
it's kind of weird for me. Like I don't wake up every morning and like go to writing or like trying to write a song. You know, like the Arizona, like Go Buckles, right? That one was weird. Go Buckles was weird. Like we were at my buddy Coy's and I was drunk a little bit, and he literally like played a progression. We pressed record on his phone, and I just made those lyrics up on the spot, like the chorus and the first verse, like the first time I even sung it. So, but that's not how it always goes. But like Arizona Waves, I had that hook in my the hook for that song. I kind of got it in my head, and I woke up one morning and like I wrote that song in like 45 minutes. Like I just went down and I couldn't get it out fast enough. Like it just was like coming, quick. And then there was another one, and that's how it was with the other one too. Like there's 4 that I wrote that I'll be recording, and then the 2 of them that I had wrote for me. Like I don't know if you remember that Neon Merry-Go-Round song that I sang at Dylan's. You know who wrote that song? Is David Lee Murphy.
Oh, wow.
Dust on the Bottle.
Oh,
It might
really?
be little dust on the.
Yeah.
He wrote that song. So he wrote that song with Styles, and I started singing it, and they were like, "Dude, like, do you want that song?"
So does like Styles sometimes like feed you songs?
He'll pitch me stuff all the time. Yeah, like he works for Warner. He was a signed songwriter for Warner Brothers for a long time. So like he writes a song a day. So sometimes and he's got like hundreds in his deal that they've just done demos on, and he's like every once in a while he'll send me a song like, "Hey, what do you think about that? Like, what do you think about that?" Just seeing if I like stuff,
Yeah.
And so far there's one that's called "I Prayed It" that he wrote with another guy that I'm gonna be recording, which I love, and I can't wait for everybody to hear that one. But I'll be recording that one, and then that David Lee Murphy, the Neon Merry-Go-Round. And Styles wrote that one too, and I can't remember what else there is. I think that's the only 2 that I'm recording that aren't mine, but the other ones are all mine.
When like he sends you a song, do you just go try it out?
It's a full demo. Like it's almost like a song you hear on the radio.
So it's a finished product.
Like yeah, pretty much.
So
like,
somebody else is singing it.
Yeah, somebody else is singing it. They haven't like mastered, like fine-tuned anything.
Yeah,
it's kind of a raw deal, but like, I mean, to somebody that doesn't know music, you'd hear that and go, that should be on the radio. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's got just hundreds of those, you know what I mean? So it's like, but that one and the other one I really like. So I'm going to record those, and
So you just got one song coming out on August.
On August 29th, it's going to be just Gold Buckles,
Just Gold
and the
Buckles.
music video will be out. Everything will be out, yeah.
Nice.
And that was another thing of that song that was like another aspect of like things I didn't know was like the music video. I mean, again, like Styles called in another favor from a homie, like, you know, hey, wait, this kid's. He's like, I really want this kid to go, you know, far, and these guys cut me a price that I couldn't have even dreamed, you know. I mean, their starting price is typically $40,000, $50,000 for a music video, you know what I mean? And we did it for substantially less than that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, guys like Cowboy Hardware, Billy Cook Saddles. I don't know if you know Billy Cook Saddles. So Adam Trank is a friend of mine. He sent me a new saddle for that music video, and he threw some money in, and he got some guys together to help pitch in for that to pay for it. And so just, all the guys that came together, thank you for those sponsors and everything. And check out, I mean, you can buy Cowboy Hardware and Boot Barn. I mean, they're everywhere, you know what I mean? And so, but doing that music video, I mean, we did the brass tacks, and my grandpa was on the camera.
Oh,
you know,
cool.
yeah, even at one point. So we had like three or four cameras going at all times. And I think by the end of it, we had 20 hours of footage, you know what I mean, that we had to go through. And
was it all done here?
Yeah, all in Arizona. And that's the idea, you know, it's all Arizona based and Arizona Cowboys, you know, and so team roping and then the bull riding and the bull fighting and all that stuff.
We at Radcast would like to shout out Colton Mcmurdie's sponsors, Sierra Negra Farms in Buckeye, Arizona, Cowboy Hardware, and Billy Cook Saddles. The Radcast team would also like to shout out our sponsor, Sunset Customs. For all your concrete coatings and custom cabinet needs, reach out to Sunset Customs at 602-489-9237. Can't forget our team at Trucker Jobs, and also the HVAC specialist, Fresh Comfort Solutions, for all your heating and air conditioning needs. 602-390-3930.
So when do you record next? When's that happening?
I'm not exactly sure on the dates yet, but we're probably going to shoot out there the week after or the following week after the 29th.
Okay.
And I'll go back out there. And then in the first time I went out there, we just did that one song. And this time I'm cutting four or five. So
okay. So we're dropping on Saturday the 29th.
Yep.
Okay. And the name of the song is
Gold Buckles.
Gold Buckles.
Yep.
And you sprinkled a little bit of that on social media so far.
And honestly, like it's kind of funny if you went through that whole deal and pieced it together, you could piece together the whole song on all the clips
that I until the real one comes out.
No, but I mean it'd be hell to do it. It comes out in a week anyways, whatever. But yeah, I mean I've actually, what's that?
Just read it.
I can't read that.
Oh, come on. Oh.
If I could, I would. Promise you.
Hold on, I could probably read it.
Yeah,
I could read nothing.
Oh, is it going to be on Apple Music and Spotify?
Yeah, it'll be Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. It'll be on everything. Yeah, it'll hit all platforms at once.
Excellent.
Yep.
Awesome.
Nice. Yep.
Well, man, let's do this again after you record your next
man.
4 songs.
I'm super
This
down.
is going to be the platform where we keep launching these things.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So
maybe,
what's the next event you're going to be at?
You know what would be cool?
Yeah.
No, but tell us.
I want to know what's going to be cool. I do want to know.
Do you really?
I think hold on. Now I want to know.
Now he's ready. We had to prepare ourselves. Cool for you or cool for others?
No, what would be cool is if we brought him out when we try to do like the rodeos.
Heck yeah, dude.
Right? And like let him kind of interview these ropers and stuff
Hell
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
right?
I'd be down.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
That'd be fun, man.
That's kind of our goal is to get to I'm working with a manager besides my grandpa and all that, but his idea is let's start hitting these circuits, these PRCA circuits.
Yeah.
Playing at those. So you asked the next, where am I playing at next?
Yeah.
There's a PBR event. Well, it's not PBR sanctioned, but actually October 2nd through the 5th, there's a big bull riding out in Queen Creek, and they're having a bunch of concerts and stuff like that. I'm playing in the arena before the perfs, both nights.
Let's go.
So that'll be a good one. And
you said October what?
2nd through the 5th, and it's Cowboy Hardware is actually they're sponsoring a portion of that as well, but it's a big bull ride. They're supposed to be 20,000, 30,000 people at this deal.
I wonder if Trev's gonna ride in that. We'll have to talk to him.
There's a bunch of big concerts, and that's like this is the first time they've done this event. But their idea for it is concerts and bowls.
Oh,
so,
awesome!
Yeah, we'll see how.
So how many singers will be there?
I'm not sure. I don't have all the details yet.
But the only one that matters is you.
I guess, yeah.
Right?
I'm not even playing on stage. Like, they have a giant stage outside that a bunch of people will be playing on. I'm not even playing at that. I'm playing in the arena right before the bull riding starts.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll play for that, and then they'll open the gates, So
we're gonna get a big old head of you.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, we should. What are they called? Fatheads or whatever?
Yeah.
Hold up.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So, for anybody that wants to get in contact with you, wants to play music,
I've got my website's just Colton Mcmurdie, and you can just look that up, and it'll take you right. If you type in Colton Mcmurdie, I think it's .com. Mm-hmm. It'll literally just you don't have to click on it. It'll take you right into my website. Okay. And it has upcoming shows and events. It has how to book me. It has how to contact me.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll tag all your social media in this too.
Yeah, and they'll tag my social media. You can always DM me. You can always direct message me on TikTok or whatever, on Instagram, whatever you want to do. I'm not on Facebook too much, but I should be more. But
dude, Facebook's hard, man.
Yeah, I know. It's just
like real analytical.
They have it set up so weird. It's TikTok's so user friendly, and so is Instagram. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'll make a TikTok and then I'll literally just take that edit and just pop it over to Instagram and just and post it. You know what I mean? So it's just so easy for me to use. But social media has been great for me for sure. Well, you know what I mean?
You got a couple videos of you roping that's reached 1 million views.
Yeah, they've done really good. Instagram, there's a couple on there that are 3.4, 2, you know, million, and but I mean, that was kind of our game plan was let's hammer the social media, to get known there, and I mean, we went from 500 followers to 25,000 in a few months. You know what I mean? So it's been good, but I mean, how do you not when you're just doing a muscle up onto a horse? Right. You know what I mean? And I purposely start every video like that. As long as I can keep your attention for 5 seconds, you know what I mean? That's all I need.
So cool.
Well, how many? You're a paraplegic?
Yeah, quadriplegic, paraplegic. I don't even know what it's called, honestly. I don't even know. Technically I'm partial incomplete. Okay. Because I still have movement and feeling, so it's I don't know. It'd be partial incomplete paralysis.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess paraplegic would be the one. Yeah.
I'm just saying
quad would be 4. My bad. Okay. Yeah, quadriplegic would be from the neck down. Okay. Paraplegic would be from the waist down. So paraplegic. Yeah, but they call it partial incomplete paralysis. Okay. But yeah.
Well, after all that explanation, you're the only one that I've seen that's roping like that. Right?
I've only met one other guy. And man, it's I still have very good trunk. You know, if I was paralyzed completely, it'd be hard to rope. It really would be. Just balance wise and everything. Because I still have really good trunk support in my hip flexors. I can still pull myself forward. I have to lean. My back muscles don't work very good, so I don't. If my horse stops too soon, I'll slack her neck. You know.
Yeah.
But the other guy that ropes, he's paralyzed, and it's hectic watching. Really? He hammers them, but
but you could kind of understand what's going on.
Oh yeah, right? For sure. I definitely have a better sense of it, but even then, it's I don't. You know what I mean? Because I still have muscles that he does. I'm blessed. You know what I mean? I don't always look at it that way. It could always be worse, dude. You know what I mean? You can complain all you want, or you could just keep on keeping on. You know what I mean? Life's hard, but it's not meant to be easy. I think that's kind of the point of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think we're here to learn lessons and
get tested.
I don't think God puts trials in your life that you can't handle.
Amen, man. Yeah. So I've noticed all you wear is Converse.
Yeah, my Chuck Llamas.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's your thing.
I don't know. I can't get boots on. I can. I have a pair that I can get on, but they're just a pain in the ass to put. Yeah. Imagine your foot not working and then just trying to slam it into a boot. Yeah. You know what I mean? Actually, Ariat just reached out to me and they just sent me a pair of boots that zip down the back.
Oh, cool.
So they zip all the way to the bottom down the back. I don't know. I just like my Chucks. I leave my Chucks on. it's so funny how much heat I get on Instagram and like social media just from like,
What?
yeah, bro. Do you realize how dangerous it is to be wearing shoes in a saddle? And I'm like, I'm tied into this horse right now.
Right.
Like, if my foot going to my strip is the least of my worries.
Yeah, like, did you see
If
the
my
first
horse,
part of the video?
I seatbelted it. If my horse goes down, I'm going down.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think about it. But like, if my horse trips and like rolls,
I'm going with them.
I'm screwed. Like
Yeah.
most people, like when they come off, they'll they kind of fly away from their animal a little bit and they get out the way.
You know what that looks like.
Yeah, have you got that off one?
I do.
Oh, did you? Yeah, but I'm going down with the ship. I mean, that's just how it is. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm my feet are also tied into it. So
Yeah,
I
Right.
don't.
You're not going anywhere.
No, it just is what it is. But it's easier to get my foot into a Converse, and I don't know. I just like my Converse.
That's cool. I like that, man. That's
Yeah.
like a cool little.
Yeah, I posted one video and I was like, someone tell Converse to sponsor me, and it had
Converse
like
Cowboy.
500,000
No shit.
views. Yeah,
Yeah.
but Converse never
yet,
reached
not
back.
yet.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Converse,
It's
you
like you
better
guys need
call.
to bust into the Western industry,
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah, Converse
That's
Cowboy.
Untapped market over here.
Right?
There is, man. There's like a huge market in the Western culture,
Yeah,
man.
and I think it's growing. Like
Oh.
No, yeah.
Tremendously.
Cowboy's back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Cowboy is just it's back. You know what I mean?
And
So
so is country music, man. Like,
Yeah.
it has
it's about
blossomed.
time.
Amen.
It's about time.
Yeah.
I
But,
grew up on it.
You
so
know, it's funny to me. Like I think, like Cowboy's back, and we were talking earlier about like, you know, being able to say like, you know, talk about God and express that kind of stuff. I think that's one of those things that comes with the Cowboy way of life.
absolutely.
So it's kind of, I think that kind of comes hand in hand, and I don't even think the people necessarily were wanting you know, like that wasn't the objective, but like because Cowboy came back, it's like those are the traits and attributes that come with that lifestyle. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Or I mean, not everybody in the cowboy industry obviously
For
is
sure.
that way, but like
The majority,
the
right?
majority
Yeah.
of it is. I mean, it's Jesus focused, it's Jesus integrated, and it's like
Yeah.
it's okay to talk about that. It's
Yeah.
important to talk. I mean, dude, you go like I was just in Oklahoma. Me and my buddy took some bulls and ABBI bulls out. I don't know if you know what ABBI bulls are. It's a whole event that they don't even have bull riders on them. They have it's a dummy box, so they put a little like weight deal on their back. 1-year-old division, 2-year-old divisions, all the upcoming bucking bulls.
Oh, okay.
But you just buck the bull with no rider, and they judge the bull that way. So we drove all the way out there, and then we were in Texas for that deal too. I mean, this is a event that people. I mean, first place is winning 50,000. They sat every damn contestant down, and they did a freaking a sermon before the whole deal started. I mean, they're in the Bible belt.
Yeah.
You're in the Bible belt for
Right.
sure, but. That's cool shit that I like
Yeah, I
seeing.
agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like it. Let's focus it out. Let's start with a prayer.
Yeah, that's the culture.
Let's
man.
remember why we're even here on
Right.
Earth, and why we get to do the things that we get to do.
That's
Right.
what.
And then let's have some fun. You know.
That's
Yeah.
like kind of what draw us into it is like, not only is it exciting, right? But
Yeah.
I mean the cowboy Western culture. It's it's God, family, rodeo, country. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know
It's
what
like
I mean.
how better can you raise your family?
Exactly.
You're right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like what? Especially when you start a family, like what virtues, what attributes do you want to have?
Right.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Do I want to have a wife I'm worried about? You know, do I want to have kids that have no respect? Do I want to worry about them mouthing off to? You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do I want to have attributes in my home that are going to be set my kids up for success?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially like that. I think that I see kids all the time now, especially my age. I mean, gosh, they're just so damn rude to people, and
Yeah.
it's like, and I meet a woman, I take my hat off, and that's just the way I was raised. You know what I mean? It's yes sir, it's no sir, it's yes ma'am, it's no ma'am, and even if you're wrong, it's fine. It doesn't matter. You know
Right.
what I mean? And it's, I mean, that was a hard thing for me to learn for a long time. Don't get me wrong. I've
sure,
never
yeah.
been perfect. You know, don't get me wrong. I was damn sure.
But now here's a product, right? It's
Yeah,
like
you know what I
that's-
mean.
yeah.
But you always
you're a
come full
product of your
circle. You
environment.
know. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and you remember where you come from, and then when we get to a certain age, you're like, I got people that respect my parents, and I got people that respect my grandparents, and they look at me as a product of them.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's like, how do I want my parents to be honored? You know what I mean? And if you really want, and it says that in the Bible, you honor thy father and thy mother. You know
Right.
what I mean? So if you're trying to honor your father and your mother, don't ever put my dad. I carry my dad's last name. You know what I mean? I don't ever want to do nothing to tarnish that name. You know what I
Well
mean?
said.
So
Yeah. And it's funny, mentioning that, right? My son will be the last to carry the Beauvais last name.
yeah.
And it's one of those things where I remember in the beginning, I was like, I wanted a daughter first, right? Just because I grew up with women. And then when we had my son, it was one of those moments where I realized like the generation carries on, right? The name carries on, and there's a lot of responsibility to that.
Yeah.
And what you're talking about is like growing up in a way of life that puts, God, family, and country as a priority, not being a knucklehead. Now, don't get me wrong, we're all knuckleheads, right?
Yeah.
We're all just dumb
Well,
shit.
I mean, that's the human nature.
Yeah. But the fact that you stay true to who you are, and that what you said makes me hopeful for the generation, is that I'm a reflection of my family, right? And I want to make sure that I show well.
Yeah.
Right. And not as a facade, but like I truly, this is who I am and this is where I come from. It's just, it's good to hear because there's not enough of that.
Right. And not that there isn't good people that are out of the restaurant industry, but just as a whole, I think it's a good, it's a wholesome lifestyle.
Yeah. And what's good to hear too is like somebody like you, right? Like you got where you're going in your life, you're going to have a lot of influence on people, I mean, especially like the younger generation that's coming up after you too.
Right.
So hearing that you have those values, those core values with your family, and just, holding that pride about your last name, what I'm saying? Like, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. And they asked me too, like, do you want to, I've been asked what name you're going to go by on stage. I'm going to go with my name, obviously, I mean, it's a name I want people to know.
Yeah,
absolutely. Be proud of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I enjoy
awesome.
it. Well, we really appreciate you coming on here.
Dude, heck yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. It's been great to get to know you.
I know.
I'm looking forward to what'll be cool is now that we all know each other, we can all hang out.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Yeah. I'm sure there's stuff we can get to next time that we didn't get to this time.
I
don't even know, but
absolutely.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome.
Kick ass. Well, we really appreciate you being on, Colton, and we're looking forward to hearing the soundtrack drop or the
song record,
drop August 29th.
August 29th.
Coming
at you.
TikTok, Instagram.
Yeah, Colton Mcmurdie Music on both. Yeah.
Okay,
excellent.
So look for me there too.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for being on.
Heck yeah, guys.
Yes, sir.
It's been real.
The rodeo life makes me feel like a gypsy, but these gold buckles are the only thing that get me.